the name of God, the compassionate and the merciful, welcome to the news here on Press TV. Reports say up to 50 people have been killed and hundreds more injured in a massive explosion in the northeastern U.S. state of Connecticut. The blast took place at a gas-fired power plant in Middletown. Hundreds of people were working at the clean energy plant during the time of the explosion. The power plant was reportedly undergoing construction at the time of the explosion, but authorities say they have no idea what caused the huge blast.
When we went outside, we saw a very big explosion of a bright orange flame between the two smokestacks on the power plant. And it really shook the house, and everybody was scared, and the kids started to cry because they didn't know if, the house was going to be on fire. It was a very scary thought, and it was almost like an earthquake.
Well, for more on this explosion, we're joined by Press TV's John Hafiz from Washington. John, what more can you tell us about the explosion?
Well, since the explosion took place, which was about 11:30 Sunday morning, there were about 50 people inside. For the most part, it's a Super Bowl day here, which is a very big sports day, and so the fire department and the police authorities were not truly prepared for something this large of a catastrophe, an accident, And so they're reporting that 50 people were inside. They're trying to get fire and rescue inside the facility to pull people out, but essentially it was a very severe blast. Essentially, it felt like it was an earthquake felt throughout the area, and it did affect nearby homes and businesses.
Well, what is the state of the injured people?
They have about 4 to 10 critical right at the moment. They're the local hospital. The fire is completely out. There have been about 2 to 4 fatalities. They can't confirm if it's 4 or not. This did happen about 3 to 4 hours ago, so the news is still fresh and it's still spilling out of the Kennedy Valley Hospital. But for the most part, they're seeing a lot of severe burns. They're seeing injuries to legs because people were rushing out. And they also mentioned that there's the doors. Essentially, people were getting stuck between some of the doors as they rushed out. But it wasn't a central zone of the clean energy power plant. So for the most part, it was exclusive to one area, but it was such a massive blast that it was seen and felt throughout the entire area. The fire workers and law enforcement are asking a lot of the residents to stay inside and not assist with the injuries or the fatalities because essentially people are going to get in the way, but also they're worried that fumes could be exhausted from the smoking power plants and actually affect people's health nearby.
And has there been any response by the administration?
We haven't heard anything from the White House just yet. They are set to issue something within the next hour and a half. For the most part, as being reported, there's been a huge blizzard throughout the Mid-Atlantic area, Washington, D.C. being one of the most affected zones. And so we're not hearing too much press or we're not hearing too much from the White House, but they are expected to make some announcements or at least release something to the international and national press about the incident in the next 2 hours.
All right, we'll leave it there for the time being. Press TV's John Hafiz reporting from Washington.